So you clicked on this video because you're moving to Northern Virginia, specifically Loudoun County, and you want to know what is the deal with the different tax rates and what to expect with taxes. So stay tuned because we're going to break it down for you. Hi, my name is Laura Griffin. I'm a top-selling real estate agent in the Loudoun County, Northern Virginia area. I'm with Loudoun Living at Pearson Smith Realty. I also run a very popular moms group on Facebook called the Loudoun Moms. And I help relocation clients all the time who are moving to Northern Virginia and specifically Loudoun County. And one of the questions that I get asked a lot is, what are the taxes like? And I know it's everyone's favorite subject, am I right? Like, who doesn't like talking about taxes? Well, I'm going to go over just a little bit of differences that we have in our area if you're moving from a different state and kind of what to expect. So first and foremost, yes, Virginia has income taxes. So you definitely will pay income taxes if you come from another state that you perhaps didn't. You might want to take that in consideration when you are moving here and when you're looking at the salary differences. Typically, our salaries are a little bit higher, especially if you're working for the government or one of the agencies or subcontractors that support the government. I typically hear that our salaries are a lot higher. So that might kind of offset the income tax depending on where you're coming from. Next is we definitely do have sales tax, and sales tax is a little bit hard, especially if you're looking at Loudoun County, because there are some areas where where you pay the Loudoun County has their own tax. But if you're in, say, a town like Leesburg or specifically even Purcellville, you're going to pay a town tax when you're buying things. So for instance, where I live in Aldie, if I get a latte in the morning, just from Starbucks, just like a tall, iced latte, I will spend on average $5.35 for that latte at Starbucks. But when I go to Leesburg and I'm inside the town at one of their Starbuckses, I'm paying $5.75. So I'm paying about 40 cents more for that same latte because of the town taxes on prepared and food items. Or if I go up to, say, Purcellville, I'm going to be paying $5.60 for that same latte. So it's $5.60 if I'm in Purcellville, $5.75 if I'm in Leesburg, and if I'm near my house, it's $5.35. So definitely, depending on where you live, you could pay a little bit more for things like, your Starbucks latte, or going out to eat like a Chick-fil-A or something, or if you're going to the grocery store. So you definitely want to take that into consideration, that there are not only the county taxes, but there may also be some town taxes. And that is also true with property taxes. So when you're purchasing a home, you're obviously going to pay property taxes on your home. And we are averaging at this time of the video for 2023, we are 85.5 cents per $100 of your price of your home. So we're about 85 cents. And a lot of times I'll hear, well, why are the property taxes so low there compared to maybe California or another state that they might be coming from? And the reason is that Loudoun County has a lot of data centers. And so what they've done is, in the data centers, they are charging them not only, property taxes, but they also pay for the personal property taxes for the equipment that is there. And because, we're talking huge servers, right? And millions of dollars in equipment, that is offsetting our property taxes. So in our area, you'll hear people say about how the data centers are so ugly and they're not that pretty, right? They're a few stories high, about 3 usually, 2 to 3. And they're cement, and they're not the prettiest thing, but they're kind of a necessary evil for us in a way, because they're keeping our property taxes low, and they provide our county with an influx of cash that we may not have had, or we may have to increase our property taxes. So in a way, yes, we do have a lower property tax, but you are going to see a few more data centers. They're typically near the Dulles Airport area, off Loudoun County Parkway, Old Ox Road, kind of in that general vicinity. Also, we get a lot of, I think it's 78%, the last time I saw it, of the world's internet data comes through Loudoun County. So that's why you'll often hear us called the East Coast Silicon Valley, because of all the data coming through and all the data centers and all the internet traffic. So, it's one of the things that keeps our property taxes lower. They're ugly buildings, but it also provides us with a lot of jobs. So in a way, it's got a little bit more pluses than it does minuses. But when we talk about property taxes, I'm going to give you 2 examples of where, depending on where you want to live, it might change your property taxes and how much you're going to pay for your home. So of course, Loudoun County has their property taxes, but if you're in the town of Leesburg or you're in the town of Purcellville, you're going to pay a little bit of a higher tax. So I pulled up 2 homes that I've sold recently just to give you kind of an idea and a baseline. So a home that was sold in Aldie, right now the county is assessing it at $1.3 million, right? So the property taxes are $11,675 for the year for that home. Likewise, there is a home in Leesburg and the county values it at $1,095,000. So just a little under 1.1. Their property taxes are $11,698 per year. So they are about $23 more per year and about $200,000 less valued of the home. The reason being is $1,950 is going to the town of Leesburg. So if you look at that, they're paying a little bit of a higher property tax. The house is valued a little bit lower, but because they are inside the town limits, they're paying a little bit higher. So a $1.3 million house can be a same property tax in the town of Leesburg as a basically $1 million home. So it's a $200,000 price difference, but they're paying about the same in property taxes. So definitely something to think about. Lastly, we also have personal property taxes here in the county of Loudoun and in the whole state of Virginia. And what that's going to tax you on is your car. So it doesn't matter if you're driving, an electric vehicle, you're going to pay a little bit more. A motorcycle, a truck, or just a regular car, you're still going to have to pay personal property taxes. And that's at $4.15. So you got to think about that when you're moving here, is that you may be coming from an area where you just buy your tags or you just pay for a smog test, things like that. You're going to be paying for personal property taxes twice a year, just like your property taxes. You'll be paying them in May and at the end of the year for your cars. So for instance, I have a 2020 Tesla Y. I pay about $1,600 per year. So $800 in May, and I pay $800 at the end of the year for my car. Obviously they depreciate as the car depreciates and gets older in age and you put on more miles. The price will come down because they do offset that cost, but it's something to think about because I know a lot of times clients will move here and they're like, wait a second, what is this? And then if you do have an electric car, like I do, because we're not buying gas and we're not paying the gas tax for the roads, you do pay a little bit of a higher premium when you are registering your car and paying your personal property taxes because you're paying, we like to call it a highway tax. So you're definitely going to be paying a highway tax in there because you're not paying for it every week or however often you're going to get gas. So you do pay a little bit more for your personal property taxes on your car. So definitely some things to think about. The last thing is when you are purchasing a home, depending on if you're buying new construction or resale, you're going to be paying grantee and grantor taxes in your closing disclosures. And if you're buying new construction, you're paying the grantee and the grantor taxes. If you're buying a resale, you're paying the grantee tax only. Also, you'll be paying the WMATA, which is the Metropolitan Area Transit Authority. And so what the WMATA is you're paying for like congestion relief. So you'll be paying a little bit of a tax too when you close on your home. And I know everyone always giggles, like we're paying for congestion relief and we're paying for Metro and all those things. And sometimes it can still be congested around here. So we all kind of always giggle about that. But definitely something to think about when you are purchasing a home is that when you go to the closing table, you will be paying not only your property taxes, paying grantee and grantor taxes potentially, and congestion relief. So definitely things to kind of think about and factor in when you're purchasing a home and you're trying to decide what area. Depending on the area that you buy in, it could just be a little bit of a different tax. If you're thinking about moving to Northern Virginia or Loudoun County and you have questions about taxes and how does this all factor into the price of the home that you want to purchase, I'd love to be a resource for you. My contact information is below in the description. And I also have a relocation guide that if you'd like access to, there is a link below for you to download it. It's got a lot of great information all about moving to Loudoun County in Northern Virginia.